Hello and welcome to the channel. My name's Akiva and today we're doing a little something different within Dragon Age, and we're going to be focusing on crafting. Now, you can actually start crafting as soon as you get into the game, because you start out in Haven. There's places to do crafting there in Haven. I waited until on my main excuse me. I waited until on my personal game I had actually gotten to the second camp area, Sky. Let me look that up. Skyhold. So let me start this all over again. Hello and welcome to the channel. My name's Akiva, and today we're doing something a little different within Dragon Age Inquisition. We're going to be focusing on crafting. Now, you can start crafting as soon as you start playing the game. There's an area inside Haven where you can get everything together and craft. I waited on my personal game until I got to Skyhold, which is the second fortress area. If you haven't gotten that far, don't worry. In my playthrough, we will get there eventually. But obviously, we're focusing on crafting, and I just want to say I love the views from here at Skyhold. They're gorgeous. There's a lot of good views in the game, but that's not what we're here for. We're here for crafting. Here's the weapons crafting bench. Here's the armor crafting bench. And crafting is actually a very, very simple process. Once you do have your armor weapon crafted, you can then go in and certain sets of armor. Yes, that is where a smith should be, right next to the forges. But that's beside the point. Don't interrupt me. Yeah. Anyway, you've got an area here to modify armor and weapons, but only certain weapons and armors can be modified. So, first let's take a look at how to craft the weapons and armors. Obviously, there are three parts to crafting. Obviously, you need these benches. They're already provided. We got those. What's next? Well, if we go into our inventory here, weapons, armor, upgrades, crafting materials, valuables, schematics. That's part two. You got to have the weapon schematic in order to be able to craft something. You can find these just about anywhere. Sometimes they're a drop off an enemy. Sometimes they're in a loot case. Sometimes they're quest rewards. As you can see, I've got quite a few of them here. Some of them, let's see if I can. There we go. Like the Longsword of the Dragon here. That I got from the Digital Deluxe download. Others, I believe, will be coming in other downloadable content. But, so as you can see, we got all the schematics here, and it tells us pretty much what we need for each of the weapons. Materials: 11 metals, 4 leather, and 1 masterwork item. What's a masterwork item? Well, for that, whoops, don't want to go all the way out. But for that, we actually go into crafting materials. And here we have all of the different crafting materials. Up here, at the top, sorted all by cloth, all the leather, all the metals, all the different runes. Now, as you can see on runes, it's not the runes themselves. It's the items used to create runes. And then, different herbs. Now, wait a minute. An assassin weapon isn't an herb. Well, no, it's really not. But at the same time, it can be used in crafting various poisons, or like with the broken filter, crafting lyrium potions or healing potions or whatever. So, I mean, just about anything that you can use to craft that's not cloth, leather, metal, or rune. Pretty much falls under herbs. Really, I think they need to go under other, because as you can see, in this particular playthrough, I am about 50 hours in. That's me doing all the little side quests and taking time to just sit down and gather all these materials and stuff. Unfortunately, the crafting materials are also used in, see if I can pull it up here. No, of course, it's not under the quest. But in requisitions. We don't have a requisitions table down here, do we? No. Skyhold customization. So no, we don't. Throughout the game, there are requisition quests. And they're just like the crafting, or it's a type of crafting quest, to be more specific. You go into the table at any one of the camps while you are out in the world. There's a table that says Inspect Requisitions. And I'll show you one of those at the end of this video. Or maybe in another video. I don't know. I haven't gotten to the end of this video yet, so we'll find out. But, so we have the materials, we have schematics, we have the table. So, what do we want to make today? Well, we'll go ahead and make a long-bearded axe. And just to show you, the Masterworks, it's optional. If you have a Masterwork, which I have a few, but I don't know if they'll play into any of the weapon crafting yet. But that will actually increase the damage and special properties. So let's actually go ahead and start with the Longsword of the Dragon. So, Longsword of the Dragon, choose your materials, and as you can see, each of the different materials will affect the stats, and the stats are there on the right hand side of the screen next to the weapon. And the weapon itself will actually change its look depending on what material you use. Now Bloodstone, it just makes an awesome blood red sword, so I'm going to just go with that right off the bat. Then we go into the different leathers. And each of the different leathers mostly will be down here in the handle, of course, but if you have a comfortable sword, that just means you use it all that much better. So, each of the different leathers gives you different bonuses as well. Canine leather gives me 8% flanking damage, Dragonling scale 4% bleed on hit, critical chance, bleed on hit, so on and so forth. But let's just go with the canine leather, because my main is a rogue, so anytime that the warrior is attacking something, I'm trying to flank, which gives both of us a flanking damage bonus. And of course we need a second set of leathers. And we're going to increase that up to 16%. Oh, but wait a minute, Akiva, I don't want 16% flanking damage bonus. I want a wider variety of stuff. Okay, we'll go back in. Oh look, 4% bleed on hit. Or 4% critical chance. You know what, we'll do that one. There we go. And then it's a simple click on craft item. Precise flanking broadsword. Restriction warrior only. But while we're here, we actually have a chance. Rename. Let's rename this one the Dragon's Tooth of we'll just call it the Dragon's Tooth. There we go. And there we go. And there we go. That's all there is for weapon crafting. Armor crafting, very much the same. As you can see, I've got different schematics, all different materials. Let's go with a heavy armor of the dragon. 13 metals. And we will go with... we'll go with the blue vitriol here for this one. Leathers. Let's see, what else do we have here? Nugskin. You know what? We'll go with cold resistance, because a lot of the spirits and demons that you fight in the game, at least on the normal difficulty, seem to throw a lot of ice at the character. And one thing I want to point out, the character, my Inquisitor, is a rogue. Heavy armor, warrior only, and the specific type of armor that I'm making is a Kiva only, which is, of course, my character. Since he's a rogue, nobody's going to be able to use this. So I'm not actually going to craft it, but as you can see, everything is just the same. In armors, you have not only the metal that you're using for the primary armor, you're also using a secondary armor, which adds additional stuff to it as well. And the leather. Now, if I had masterwork, oh, I do have masterwork items. Did not realize it, but that's okay. So there you go. And then you would just go in and you click craft the item. Quite simple. Changes will be lost. Yes, I want to continue. I'm not actually creating that. Actually, let's go in and create a medium armor of the dragon. One that my rogue can actually wear. And this time, now, if it's successful, adds 10% to all stats. But I won't be able to find that out until I actually craft the item. So 13 in here. Now, because it is a medium and not a heavy, it's all based on leather. Really, I should have gone out and gotten more bear hide or ram leather. But we'll use canine leather for now. Metal for defense, plus 104 maximum health. And then another leather here for 8% dexterity, 4 cunning, and 8% dexterity. There we go. We'll go with that, because cunning helps in a lot of subtle little ways. But that's a whole different video. And it was a success. So plus 10% to all of that. I got 115 maximum health, 9 dexterity, 5 cunning, and 136 armor rating. But I don't like the name. We will do Akiva's masterwork. Not enough for him. So we'll just do Akiva's dragon armor. There we go. Alright. And that's that. Now, one thing that plays into... and let me go ahead and get this equipped on me, because it's better than my current armor. Less cunning, but everything else is better, so we'll throw that on there. Now, the most annoying part about the crafting. You've got to get the materials. Where do you get the materials from? Out here in the world. So we'll go ahead and go back to the hinterlands, which is the starting area. Just show you a little bit on how to, or what to expect when you're gathering the materials. Let this load up. This is probably my, or what I'm about to show you is probably my biggest complaint about the game. Because as you saw, there was also an area where I can brew potions, and I can brew potions out here in the wild as well, but only at the camps. So as soon as the screen pops up, Sorry for the delay, folks. I'll probably do a jump cut. Jump cut. And jump cut. Here we are to the hinterlands. We're at the camp. Now here's the table that I was telling you about the different requisitions. Click on the requisitions, and you've got all these different requisitions. Actually, I kind of need this one for a quest that I'm on. So I will go ahead and create that one. Now with the requisitions, it will automatically fill in what you need. Okay. So there we go. And as you can see, I don't have all of the items for some of these requisitions. But here's the thing that bothers me. For all of these, they use the same materials that you're gathering for everything else. So if you're not careful and not paying attention, you are you're working against yourself if you don't pay attention and really bear down on making sure you get what you want when you want it. Now, as far as creating potions, you just equip the potion. Like, in my particular case, I have the regeneration potion here equipped. And it's simple. Click it, and it replenishes. And it takes from, or it tells you what is required for the potion and all that. Kind of bothers me that I can't do it, or that I have to come specifically to the table. I understand it, but I'd like to be able to be like, oh, just after a battle, I'm out of potions. Let me make more. But as of yet, like I said, I'm only about 50 hours into the game total. But that most of that is gathering. And as you can see, this is, you just run around and gather things and hope that you keep track of the materials so you don't end up using them for something else when you're trying to save up for, like these quests that are popping up here on the side. Now, one thing I do like is that every time you collect something, like I've been collecting the elf root, it shows me every quest that elf root can be used on. Whether it's a requisition quest or a crafting quest. Now remember I said quest. For just standard crafting of the potions and such, it's not going to show that because the game doesn't know that you're making that a priority. But really, that's all there is to it as far as crafting goes. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment. If you liked what you saw, or somebody else has questions and you don't want to sit there and explain it all to them, share this video out. And if you want to keep on top of all of the Dragon Age stuff that I'm putting up there, feel free to subscribe. But until the next video, kick back, relax, and enjoy your games.